Hey, this is Greg, and I'm going to cover everything new in version 2025.6 of Yaak. So we have a new update experience, which you can see down here. We have some accessibility features like high contrast themes and a layout toggle up here. And then we have some template stuff like the ability to set folder variables and also access passwords from your operating system's keychain. So first, let's tackle the update experience. So before, it was a really disruptive native alert that would pop up and force you to do something. Not a great experience. So now when you have an update, it downloads in the background and just prompts you with a little toast here, which is like you can still go around and do stuff. And it won't interrupt you. And then you just hit install now to take care of it and relaunch Yaak, and you're up to the new version. So much better than before. So the next kind of visual thing is this layout toggle up here. So previously Yaak would toggle to this layout only at small window sizes. Now you can explicitly toggle it, which before was okay, but it would often do something that you maybe didn't want. But now you can, for example, at larger windows, use this layout, which is the default in Postman. So people coming from Postman should now have a more familiar experience by toggling this layout. All right, so next let's tackle folder variables. So I have a message here, which is coming from my production environment. You can see that if I click on it, it's defined as production message. And when I send it to my echo endpoint, it just prints out what I sent. So you can see the message is correctly being placed here. But if I want to override it, for example, in this folder, I go to folder settings, variables, and if I hit Control Space, I get the variables that I can override. And then I'll just set it to folder message, send the request again, and you can see it inherited from the folder instead of the production environment. So you can see that if I moved it out of the folder, it would go back to the production variable. So this is useful if you have like path, some path or user ID in the URL which you want to change per folder, or you want to switch to a different user token or something. Now folder variables make that really easy. So the next template related thing is this new Keychain function. So type in Keychain and you can fill out, let's see, I have a testing value here in my operating system Keychain. I'm on Mac OS, so I created an application password in my Keychain, and now I can access it right through Yaak. So if you have stuff already in your Keychain, this is really useful for accessing it without having to duplicate that value in Yaak itself. So really cool, and then I can send that along and authenticate my API. So the last thing I want to cover is some accessibility stuff. So people have been sending messages that the light theme hasn't been as accessible as it could be. So the first thing I did was improve the contrast of the light theme a little bit. So it should be more easy to see what's going on for maybe if you have a screen that's not as bright, or if you have vision issues or something like that. Now this should work better. But you can also change to new high contrast theme. So you can do high contrast light, which makes everything pretty much black and white and makes the colors much darker. And then if I go to dark mode, there's also a high contrast dark. So this is just black and white. So these are based mostly off the VS Code themes, so they should be fairly good for everybody. But yeah, now you can select your themes for high contrast, light and dark. And that is all the stuff new in Yaak 2025.6. Try it out, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.